Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Taiji, where I am feeling actually pretty good today. I'm hoping we'll have a nice long period of productivity here on these puzzles. So the road splits, but it all loops back around arbitrarily. I guess let's just keep working it from this direction. Okay, so starting here. Alright, we know that this shape is going to have to include both of the white diamonds as well, because there's no... realistically, there's just no other way to do it, right? So... because any path that runs from green diamond to green diamond is going to either contain both of them, or it's going to bisect the field and divide them. There's no way to keep this thing dark. We've already broken that, so that needs to be lit, and all the spaces adjacent to it need to be lit, which is troublesome, because this is going to have to stay dark. So I need to go... the thing is, this tile also has to be lit up. Is it okay to just walk down here, get this from this side? Yeah, that should be fine, actually, right? So there we go. That symbol's happy. Do this. If I step down onto that to turn it lit, I'm going to break it. So for right now, we'll just leave it. Okay. Now this symbol is happy. The symbol to the left of where we started is good. This one over here... this one over here needs me to leave only one dark space adjacent to it. Right, because I can't make it lit, or I will be lighting up two spaces adjacent to it in doing so. So hold on, we might have to do something more like... I guess if I'm doing that, then I'm committing this thing to needing to be lit up. But if I do like this, now that upper left symbol is happy. This is going to end up having to be lit up, I think. Well, maybe not. Hold on, let's leave it for the moment. So we'll approach this like that instead. Grab this thing. Okay, so because of this, we have to walk down here and then do this, which means that does have to be lit up. But this space has to stay dark. And actually I need this to be lit up too. So we want to go like way back to here and step on both of these before we make the upward turn. Right, we have to keep... nope, this is overlit. Okay, if we do it like this instead... oh, wait, sorry. I have to light you up. There we go. Nope, this thing is... it's overlit again. The problem is that there's no way to do this the way I was pathing it without making that... yeah, that's really problematic. This thing's going to end up with 3 lit neighbors, which is wrong no matter which way we leave it. What if we do something more like this? What if we come down here? We walk around this the long way. That way we can leave the space above it unlit. There we go. That works, right? This needs exactly one dark space. That needs exactly one dark space. That's set. That's set. That's set. It has a dark. Yeah, this is an answer. Just had to approach it from a different side. This one's going to be considerably more complicated. So that is acting like I didn't do the thing it needs. So it can't remove these, even though these have that color in them. Or that, yeah, I guess. So the idea is it's removing those two then? So okay, we leave one unlit space adjacent to that. Okay. So here's a huge problem. The shape that we make is going to have to be rotationally symmetrical. Or we have to leave a negative shape that is a dark shape that is rotationally symmetrical. Because yeah, the diamond and the purple thing have to be in the same shape. There's no way for us to separate them. Well, I guess that's not true. If I walk through, like, to here, walk on this, and then walk over here like that, we can leave these in a negative shape outside of the lit shape. But I guess that probably doesn't actually work because I have to include this in the lit shape. So that's naturally going to split them up. But the thing is, if they both have to be part of the lit shape, how do I... No, that doesn't work. That seems impossible. If they both have to be part of the lit shape, how would I make the rotation work? Oh, you know what? I just realized something. Okay, no, that is still yellow. The reason it didn't show... I was thinking the reason it didn't show this thing as being able to remove these earlier, even though they are a thing that has that color in it, and we know from prior experience that that is how at least some of the symbols work. I was thinking, oh, it might be because I had actually satisfied these at the time that I tried that, so it wasn't removing them. But now we have tested it with them. Definitely not happy. And that still doesn't work. This one seems much more difficult than any of the other walkables we've done because of the horizontal and the diagonal lines. To the point that I just, I don't want to do this one right now. We will come back. This may be the last puzzle in this area that gets done. I don't really think the walkable puzzles are all that interesting, frankly. I kind of just don't like them. Okay, so... there is no way for this to match with that, or for this to match with that, because any path you would draw that would connect these two is naturally going to separate those. So we know that connects. And we know this is a dark shape that does this. That needs to exist. But probably not exactly like that. I mean, this works, right? Maybe I don't even need all this stuff. That's just a solution. Okay, tiny bit more complexity. So we know this must be dark, because if it was lit, this thing would necessarily be separated. And then it has to connect to one of the black diamonds in the other corners. I'd like it to be this one. Is that going to turn out to be possible? I guess it actually must be that way, right? This must be the other dark one, because if this black diamond is going to connect to this black diamond, this teal diamond has to connect to this, and the shape that does those things is going to separate the other two teal diamonds. So yeah, this has to be down here. So for the moment, we'll just make that connection. It seems like you want to include this, but well, I guess you'd almost have to include that. Yeah, because if you're trying to connect one of these three yellow diamonds up here to that, you're running the risk of cutting this off from its partner. So maybe this shape looks something like this for the moment, at least. And then does that work? No, not quite. This yellow, yeah. I can't isolate this dark yellow like that. So if I do this, right, I have to remember to connect the teal diamond in, but I think at this point, this is a functional solution, right? This shape is 2 pairs. Yeah, we're paired everywhere else. That works. So we know that's dark. Probably reaching out to here. We know this must be lit for the sake of this black diamond. And this one must also be lit because these two have to be meaningfully separated. Which means if this is lit, then it probably like connects here and this dark shape wraps all the way around there. Right? That works. Of course, if you're doing that, then you're ending up in this place. Maybe this connects all the way out to here. So then I need to add a blue, a black, and a white to this shape. And it has to be this white. Because this one has to be dark to pair with that. Right, if we fill that in now, this shape has a pair of every color. If we light this up... Oh, wait. I don't actually need to do this because there's a black there. Yeah. But maybe I do want to do that. So we just don't include the blue. So yeah, this shape now is a pair of every color. This is a pair of whites and a pair of blues. We can just pair these blacks now because they don't connect to the larger shape. This shape here is a pair of yellows and a pair of black. I think this works. Yeah, okay, that wasn't too bad. These really tight ones are going to be, they're going to be interesting. Yeah. Sometimes the intuitive solution is totally correct. For example. Sorry, I don't mean to just like blow through these super fast, but so this is a little trickier. So these black diamonds have to connect through the blue diamond, right? If they connect through the yellow diamond and don't include the blue diamond, then they're cutting it off from everything else. So like we know that. And it could be the case that this is what follows that. And then we do like this. Yeah, that works. Okay, I like to think I'm good at those ones. This will be interesting. So 5 up here. Go like 2 and 4. Shoot. Yeah, walkability. What a nightmare. How about this? 2 and 2. Two, 4, 2. Okay, so basically we have to end up with one of these squares not belonging to any shape. If I'm doing the math here right, yeah, there's one more tile than there is, one more walkable tile, light upable tile than there are pips. So how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I create a dead space while having to actually have the path be something I can walk? Because like the core problem is that it's problematic to fill in. I guess that corner being the one space would be helpful. So what if I did like this? So that's 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, it had to be this corner because there's no way to traverse the 2x2 here from one of the exits. You can only traverse the whole thing if you start in one of the other corners. And then the idea here is that these all get completely isolated, right? Oh. There we go. That one's not too difficult. What is this? All right, we'll do that in a second. This is probably going to end up being the same thing. And so like in order to fill out these shapes, a lot of what these ones have been about so far is just making sure you start in the right spot, because you're going to put yourself into a position that's not navigable from the outside. Like this, there's no way to fill in this like Tetris T shape here if you're approaching it from the outside. But if you start on one of these and walk outward, then we can finish our move by going here. I just need to make sure that I'm actually going to cover all of the other squares. And obviously you could run that exactly backwards as well. So on this one, they tell us where we have to start. Okay, these two shapes can be connected. They don't have to be connected. But my guess is we're going to find out that yes, they do in fact have to be connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yup. Yeah, this is actually really difficult. There's a lot of solutions that don't quite work that I can see already. Like, the problem is this shape ends up being something like that. And then we want to block it off like this, but we can't because that makes us not on 2 anymore. I mean, we're still going to have this problem, right? But I guess we don't have to have this back corner lit up either. And then we can have 2 disconnected lit tiles holding the space otherwise. That works. That's okay. So this has to be by itself. It can't be in a figure with any other color of dots. We know that's lit up, and then there are some possibilities, sadly. This thing's got to be isolated, right? There's just not, the yellow numbers are not large enough to connect to it. So this has to be a dark shape. This has to be a lit shape. We do that. This can be a lit shape. This has to be penned in. This has to be a dark shape. How do I do that so that it doesn't break everything? We could, these two actually can connect. No, that's not quite good. If we do it like that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can fill this in here, but it ruins everything else. Because this needs to be filled in, as does this. What is a better way to do this? This is the shape this 2 has to be no matter what, right? No matter how we shape the yellow and black figures, this is always going to be right. We could rearrange some things beyond that. This could be a dark shape if we wanted it to. I'm not sure I think that's useful. What am I going to do with these teal 3s? I need to be able to wrangle these shapes around a little bit without connecting them to each other, which is not, I'm afraid, going to be possible on a canvas of this size. All right. So I feel pretty confident about that. I feel pretty confident about this. Because like I said, there's no way for the other yellow shapes to connect. They are all too small. This is also definitely true. And I guess that means this is true and that is true. Right? They can't be together in the same shape. Yeah, okay. And if this is the case, this tile can't be lit or it would connect here, so this must be dark. Alright, and that's got all of that stuff sorted. And if this tile must be dark, then this tile, this 3 has to extend here. These tiles must also be dark. And if these two have to be lit, then this one has to be dark, which means these two have to be lit, which means that has to be lit to create the borders for this. And if that's the case, then I think we have a dark shape here and a lit shape there, and that is actually a solution. Also, this thing is doing the two people, and if you were to press them closer together, depending on how close you press them, you could either, you know, make it look like maybe the negative shape is a vase, or you could just really like smash them into each other while making kissy noises, which is what I would do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. That's not even a puzzle. This one's more of a puzzle. Okay, so once again, these black shapes can't be connected to anything, so we know that they need to be ringed with their appropriate shape. Right, that must be the case as well, given where these are. Which means this actually could be lit. It would be okay for this to be lit and to just be wrapping around that one. Well, okay, so we know this is dark, which means this one has to be lit up, which means it is claiming some of the space. Darkness has to extend up this way. This could be lit. Obviously, it makes it a 5-tile group, but if we just include the 3 here, that's 7 tiles right there. So we don't know. This one might actually be turned on. Well, I guess, okay, we know this is lit, actually. It can't be dark, because if it was dark, it would have to reach out into this square, and then it would connect to the white shape. So that's 5 lit tiles right there. 2 more left to go in this shape, and we don't know if they extend out this way or if they extend up here. Without knowing that, I think there's no sense in trying to figure out what's going on with this stuff down in the lower left corner, probably. This is interesting. It can connect to these two very easily. I suspect we're going to need to shape this around the borders of the 7 area. I guess, so we know this is dark, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, hold on. No, it can't be dark. Okay, that's going to be challenging. Because if these two are dark, there's no way to fill in the space down here without colliding with them. So this actually has to be lit up. Which means we could do something like this and leave these two the space that they need. This tile has to be lit. I guess we know that. Because if this thing reached leftward, then it would not be possible to satisfy this shape anymore. And so if that extends downward, that means this one can only extend downwards. So that actually means this has to be this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can't reach up here because it grabbed that. So this has to be 7. These tiles have to be dark to give you an edge, which means you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This has to be a dark shape, and it goes right there. These two tiles have to be lit to provide that with a hard border. So you get these spaces, and then this here goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yep, that has to be lit up to feed. Yep, that's exactly the right number of spaces. Okay, that is all the only way that any of that can work. Dark, dark. So dark, 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 and light, 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 light. And that means dark, dark. And that means this could be dark. This is kind of similar. So this space is going to have to be lit up no matter what, right? Like, this is the shape from this yellow 4. Because if we tried to fill this in, we go 1, 2, 3. We still have to fill this in, and then we're at 5. So this shape, this space here will actually have to remain fallow. And then from here, I don't know, it doesn't actually look that difficult. This has to be lit then because of this stuff. I guess it had to be lit because of this anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Okay. This needs to be like that. Those have to remain dark, which means these have to be lit. Are you not? Oh, yeah, okay. If there's a dark tile here, that actually screws up the count a little bit. Shoot. But this tile has to be lit to... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, it feels like those 4 have to be like that. And this has to be dark because it's adjacent to a lit up thing here. So everything's right except for you. How do we modify this? The thing is, there's a lot of this that I actually cannot change at all, right? Like a bunch of this is already set. A bunch of this is the only way it can be. So these are right. I guess technically it's this we don't know about. But no, this would have to be expanding downward because otherwise it's going to collide with this. And this has to be lit because those are lit. And the way the dots are lined up. Well, these dots out here can reach that. But this has to be a lit shape and this has to be an unlit shape. So never mind. Yeah, those really are the only places where those yellow squares can be. Oh, you know what? No, never mind. I was going to say, oh, these could be connected shapes maybe, but they cannot because there's no way to squeeze them past the teal dot without it getting included. This one is a little tricky, huh? So all the stuff with the singles remains solid. Right, to take it back to the part that is described to us very simply by these two being lit and the symbols being where they are. All of this stuff has to be true. The dots need their proper... All of this stuff, in fact, has to be true. The dots need their proper outline. What if this is dark? What if it's like that? And there's a dead spot here. This goes like that. Right? Could be. Oh, no, this is a 5, not a 4. Yeah. That all breaks down there. So if this 5 has to sit like this, and that has to be lit, there's no way to do that, because putting a tile here makes the magenta shape 5 squares. Putting a tile here makes it 3 squares, then if you put another one down, it becomes 5 squares again. I have no idea how to do this one. Alright, we'll come back to it. Fresh eyes, new day, etc. Okay, so this is going to have to be dark because it's adjacent to... Right, we know all of this to prevent the shapes from bleeding into each other at all. So you need 7 tiles in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's one more tile in this corner than is strictly necessary for this shape. And I'm sure... this is a bummer. I don't want to make any assumptions about this shape yet, even though it is seeming like it's probably lit, because it is possible that we end up marking all this stuff off of the H, and then this thing just stays mercifully untouched. We could have shapes connecting through the 2 to sort of like dump their contents in the outside world. No, never mind. This is in darkness, and the 2 is in light. Can you tell? My brain is getting a little fried. So I don't feel like I can get any more specifics from this. I can't even say for sure. Well, okay, no, I do know something for sure. These 2 tiles have to be dark to prevent a crossover, right? Which means this goes here. And all of a sudden, problem solved for the H. Because those are the tiles where that's allowed to be. So yeah, we make a 4 lit tile shape here. Mark an edge. This is going to end up having to be dark and shaped like that. And I think we end up with a similar thing over here. Right? That's 5. Yeah. That works. So, just a matter of putting this one together. I mean, I hate to feel like a broken record, but like this literally must be the case. Right? If this was dark, well, if this was dark, it could reach up. Yeah, I guess it doesn't have to be the case. This is pretty troublesome. So we know it doesn't contain this square, because either way of getting there ends up with 5 things in the pool. We can probably just go ahead and mark that as a dark one. If we go that way... Nope, that is 6 tiles. Yeah, if we do this way off of the magenta here, I'm not convinced that there is a solution for this corner that doesn't either bump into the dark-shaped yellow or put us at the wrong number of tiles. It's very easy to get to 6 in this block, right? All right, you know what? That's a come back to it next time problem. Let's have a look at this. So this thing is gonna... Oh, if I change the inner ring... Yup. Okay, that's interesting. Let's hope I'm doing this in a sensible fashion. So this must be... dark... And then that's where that darkness has to end. So 6, 1. And I guess it doesn't really matter where that goes. And then we have to draw... Yeah, we have to draw some more stuff around here to make sure the white 6 is outlined. Oh, sorry. That also has to get drawn. Well, now this is a problem. So this needs to, in fact, not be marked. Right, because if this isn't marked, then we can leave this as the yellow space. How do I, in this puzzle, cause this one not to be marked, though? So we still have to give a boundary to this thing. Is there anywhere else I can put that? The 4 has to be preserved. The 2 has to be preserved. Not that we could mess with it anyway. Gosh, it sure looks like my only option is to plant it here. Is there something I'm missing about this? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this at all. I mean, it simply is the case that it must contain this square, because it cannot contain either of those two. But we can't have yellow numbers in the same enclosure with blue numbers. They will freak out and explode. And I'm like pretty close to this puzzle. If it just rains shards of glass on us, I feel like that's going to go poorly for me in the long run. I'm not even allowed to look at the last one because obviously, we don't have the solution for this yet, and this forms a critical part of that puzzle. All right, let's take a quick look at these. Just the other side of this thing. Holy crap. Okay. Well, let's start by marking the tiles that must be one thing or another. So this tile is definitely part of that blue shape, but we don't know anything else about it. You also need an outline. And then With that all drawn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so with all these drawn, this has to be a little Blake City block here. That's fine. So I think we probably have to fill these in, right? To prevent this thing from overflowing into the space over there. This ends up being like the 5 tiles right here. This reaches out 4, 7, 8, 9. So you could just put it here and call it a day. I don't know, that would connect us to the to this other shape. In fact, that is forbidden. I don't really know what I want to do with that last square, though. Yeah, that's the production. That's a tough one. Okay, what else do we know? So we have here a couple of must be dark 3s. This one is actually connected to this tile, which must also be dark. Which means that it cannot be connected to that tile. There must be a separator. Which tells us that this probably connects here. Probably. Now, if we just call these 3 spaces unlit, that deals with those symbols right away, and then we can just bury them beneath the other symbols. Obviously, bury in a very poetic and metaphorical way here. Oh, this cannot be dark. These squares are, in fact, enough, and all of the adjacent things have to be walled off. Which is interesting. It gives us some more context for this. So this is going to have to be lit, because you two have to stay separated. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shit. And this tile does have to be dark. We can't connect to here, obviously. It's really easy to turn this into a 10. Right now it's 8 lines, or 8 squares. Or right now it's 7 squares. But adding 1 more adds 3. Which seems problematic. Alright, you know what? I'm going to call it there for today. I'm feeling a little fried. We need to... I need to spend a little bit of time looking at these and working things out. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm really digging the puzzles underneath the waterfall. These are a pleasing level of complexity. When you come back next time, I'm just going to continue desperately trying to attempt that complexity, even though in some instances it seems like maybe it's a tiny bit beyond me. And we'll see you then.